that Darion Trammell has for San Diego State. An electric first half. Off the bench for SDSU.
And he came off the bench immediately and was ready to go. And whether it was at runouts, whether it's coming up with screens, he had his feet set. He shot the ball confidently. 6 of 9 from the field, 15 points. A big part of that 19-6 advantage in points off the bench for San Diego State is the fact that Trammell was able to be as confident, and really he's the reason why they have the lead. When he scored, they took the lead because their defense was solid, and I think they did a pretty good job of getting back and taking Gonzaga out of transition, forcing them to play in the half court.
Already a season high in points for Trammell. Again, got off to the slow start this season because of the shoulder, but it's picking up his play recently. As Gonzaga with the ball to start the second half. They're trailing, entering the second half at home for the first time since February of 2020 when USF, the Dons, led Gonzaga at halftime in that game. Although the Zags won that game 71-54 as Lamont Butler bursts by the Zags for his first points of the night.
Well, if you don't pick up the ball, you're going to give up a layup. I mean, nobody stopped the ball in transition.
And a travel. Gonzaga turns it over.
Well, and you mentioned that stat. Last time they were trailing at home was against USF. They came back and won that game. And Brian Dutcher told his team at halftime, look, Gonzaga's going to make a second half run. What we've got to do is come out aggressive in the first 5 minutes and be ready for it and be able to respond to it. You mentioned Lamont Butler, first points of the game for him. It's his first shot attempt. And coming off an 18-point game.
Here he is in the key. He fakes it in straight on. Quickly back the other way, and the Zags give it back to San Diego State. Micah Parrish, way off on the three.
Pretty good three-point shooter. And it definitely has not felt the rhythm tonight so far. He is 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, and that one wasn't close.
Yeah, that's when you wipe your hands on your shorts, and there's something wrong with your hands. It just slipped.
You were one of those guys?
I'm just speaking from experience.
I think you just have to acknowledge that it's a bad shot. Don't draw more attention to it. I promise it wasn't because of the shorts, the shoes, or anything else.
Anton Watson left open for 3.
You leave him open, his versatility. He can stretch it from the outside.
After the Zags finish the first half, just one of their last 8 from the field. And Elijah Saunders can't convert. Here comes the Zags, 3-on-2. Watson to the basket. Tie game, 18 minutes to go at the Kennel.
Quick 4-0 run, followed up by a quick 5-0 run. They got to get Jaden Ledee a touch.
Lamont Butler straight on. Ledee gets the touch himself as he rips the rebound down.
That's his first offensive rebound of the game. Came in averaging over 3 offensive rebounds per contest. His first offensive rebound there, manufacturing the ability to get a touch and score.
Ryan Nembhard. And the tip in, Graham Ike. Back and forth we go. Jaden Ledee fires from deep and hits a 3.
That's been the biggest growth in his game. Already more field goals made here to start the second half than he had the entire first half.
He's 40% from 3 this season. Nolan Hickman and a tie-up. And the arrow belongs to San Diego State.
Jaden Ledee doesn't get the touchdown low. They lift him up. Graham Ike a little bit slow with the contest. And as you mentioned, Ledee came into the game 8 of 20 on the season from beyond the arc. Now 9 of 21 from deep. After again having zero made three-pointers in his first 4 years of college.
And 4 total starts his first 4 years of college basketball. And he's averaging close to 22 points per game. Arion Trammell quickly enters in the second half for Brian Dutcher and the Aztecs. And a foul out top, the second on Anton Watson.
Listen, the students may not be here, but there is a buzz. I mean, every possession feels important. Every stop, every call feels important in this game. And these two teams they're very proud programs that have had, as you mentioned off the top, incredible success in college basketball, especially recently. But they need it for their non-conference resume.
Arion Trammell has a clean look. And the offensive rebound, Jay Powell. Reese Waters fires. Three!
I love the offensive rebound kick out to a spot-up shooter three.
Largest lead of the night for San Diego State. Reese Waters, the deflection, attacks, and glides in. Timeout Gonzaga, the Aztecs are up 8 at the kennel.
It is points off of turnovers right now. Gonzaga has been a little bit careless with the basketball. They've given up 17 points off of turnovers in this game, and it's the defense of the Aztecs jumping in the passing lane. This was on the offensive rebound. Waters gets his feet set, dials it in, and knocks it down, the transfer from USC. And you cannot throw a straight line pass from the baseline to the top of the key and not expect somebody to jump that line.
With Utah State, how about Nevada? What Coach Alford's been able to do, you just saw them at Diamond Head. Impressive win in that tournament.
Juju Watkins has been sensational. Second in Division I in scoring. USC in the top 10.
They take on number 2 in a sold-out Poly Pavilion on Saturday against Corey Close's team led by Lauren Betts, the transfer from Stanford. And then Tom Grant Foster, he's a star nobody's been talking about. And if you're looking at a team in the NCAA tournament that could make some noise, Grand Canyon is one of those teams. A great start to the season for Bryce Drew's squad. And you mentioned their student section, great home environment. They knocked off San Diego State earlier this year at home, but they can travel too.
So San Diego State up 8. The Zags, who've been quiet here the last minute and a half to watch the Aztecs build their largest lead of the night. And a strong take to the basket will get Ryan Nembhard to the line. Couple of free throws coming up for Gonzaga. San Diego State and the Zags. Final non-conference tune-up for both. FC matchup and New Year's Day. The college football playoffs semis begin at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific with the Rose Bowl on ESPN, ESPN the 410s, and ESPN Plus. Great way to close out 2023 and ring in 2024. All right, who do you like on New Year's Day?
I'm more focused on that Lions-Cowboys game, to be honest with you. I mean, I need the Lions to lose so that my 49ers, after
watching Monday Night Football this past week.
That was brutal.
Here's what I like. I like Alabama, and I like Washington.
I'm with you 100%. I agree on both of those. That makes for bad television right there.
Yeah, it's awful. Can you disagree with something? How about this? San Diego State, last 36 possessions, just 1 turnover. Gonzaga has 4 turnovers in their last 8 possessions. They have to value the ball better. Plus 11 for the Aztecs in points off of turnovers tonight.
And the Aztecs have outscored Gonzaga 21-8 back to the first half. Jada Ledee is spinning in the key. And Miles Bird goes over the back.
First of all,
and now Mike Reed comes in from the
we
side.
got a technical
and
foul on Dusty
been
Stromer.
called on Dusty Stromer. And he's wondering, what do I do?
This is after extracurricular. Stromer goes over the back of Stromer. And little tangle, little talk back and forth, and then Dusty comes over and just pushes him away.
Yeah. Just can't do that. And by the way, that technical is also a personal. It's the first foul on Dusty Stromer, but even as
Mark Few not happy, not pleased. In a game where every possession seems so heightened, you cannot have that breakdown.
I mean, even as innocuous as that shove seemed to be, and still you can't do that. And defense. So Mike Reed with Doug Schaus and Michael Irving at the monitor to, again, a technical was called on Dusty Stromer after the personal foul on Miles Bird.
The officials looking at it. Dusty was like, what? I just was trying to get him away from my teammate. They were talking trash.
Dusty, you did it right in front of Mike Reed. And the officials are discussing it. And you saw some jawing going on between Anton Watson and Miles Bird after the foul on Bird. And then it was Stromer after that pushed Bird.
I will get an explanation.
Now Mike Reed calling in both coaches to tell them exactly what they decided. Mark Few on the left, Brian Dutcher on the right. All right, what did Michael Irving have to tell you?
That the call they made on the floor is exactly what they're going with. It's a dead ball, technical foul against Dusty Stromer. The Aztecs will get the free throw and then get the ball back. So costly because it would have been their ball, their possession, with the offensive foul on Bird. But because it's a dead ball technical, it gives possession back to the Aztecs.
And it'll be Reese Waters going to the line. All right, do I mention it? What's going on with Reese Waters? All right, the broadcaster jinx, we'll see what happens.
It didn't work when I tried to jinx Nemhard earlier today.
Reese Waters is 40 for 40 from the line this year. One more for Waters, who has 13 points tonight.
What a contributor he has been, and how important he has been, the role in which he plays for San Diego State.
So not even I can throw off Reese Waters, who's now 42 for 42 from the line. And it's the most consecutive free throws made to start a season in college basketball since Matt Frierson of the Citadel hit his first 44 free throws of the 2018-2019 season. Frierson finished that year 44 for 44. Miles Bird and the Aztecs are up double digits.
Largest lead of the game for San Diego State. And a costly technical foul that gave 4 points to the Aztecs when it should have been Gonzaga's basketball.
Ryan Nemhard. The lob for Granike down low.
Got the switch and Nemhard knew it right away. Great awareness by number 0 in gray. That is his 7th assist of the game, Roxy.
8 points, 7 assists, 4 boards for Nemhard.
Roxy, the offense hasn't been as electrifying this year for Gonzaga, but you know what has? Their defense. And they're going to need to lean in their defense right now and get consecutive stops.
Jaden Ledee is fouled, will get to the line. And the foul is on Nemhard of Gonzaga. So 2 shots for Ledee, who's 4 for 4 from the line. And you and I talked to Mark Few earlier today about their defense. You've watched Gonzaga more than anybody.
I've been up here a little bit.
Yes. What's different about this team's defense than maybe in years past?
Well, I think that at times they were so offensively gifted that they just leaned on that, right? Like that was, things came so easy at the offensive end. Their transition, their points off. This year's team doesn't have that same kind of explosiveness, so the identity has had to shift a little bit more to the defensive side. And the coaching staff has done a great job of having awareness of that. And when you hammer it home every day at practice, it starts to show up on the court. And this has been a better defensive team, a more physical defensive team than we've seen.
And
the turnovers are a major issue
to
right
San
now.
Diego State.
They're minus 13 in points off of turnovers. That's their 11th turnover of the game. San Diego State has come in this building. They only have 3 turnovers the entire night.
Efficient night for Brian Dutcher's team. Reese Waters to the basket. San Diego State by 13.
And more points off of turnovers. 21 points off of turnovers. Tough to win a game, even on your home floor, when you give up 21 points off of turnovers.
Van Beek over the double team. And the rebound tipped out. Miles Bird on the run. The step through. The reverse. Miles Bird. Timeout Gonzaga.
Now, Brian Dutcher told his team Gonzaga makes second half runs. It's an 18-3 run over the last 4 minutes in this game by San Diego State. The Aztecs hear all the talk about the Mountain West Conference, how deep it is. Watch this, just the offensive execution, the fluidity in which we've seen, and then the attention to detail at the defensive end of the floor, and the ability to attack Gonzaga in transition. They have 30 points in the paint, Roxy. They only had 16 in the first half.
Since there was 4:03 left in the first half, San Diego State has outscored Gonzaga 35-10. And to come here into this building, where since it opened, back in the early part of the 2000s, Gonzaga has a .945 winning percentage. They are 272-16 in this building. In a building that's been open for about 20 years. 16 losses. And we can probably count on one hand how many times they've been down double digits.
Well, and I go back to what I mentioned earlier in the first half. My first ever game at ESPN was the tip-off marathon here in this building where San Diego State was trying to announce itself to the nation and was able to do it. Kawhi Leonard, big part of that team. Billy White, I think, at 31. DJ Gay was on that roster as well. A tremendous team for Steve Fisher. This Aztecs team made it all the way to the national championship game. Lost some key components. Roles have shifted. Things have changed. You know what hasn't changed? The culture and the identity of this program. And for a non-conference where you take a loss at BYU, by the way, looks pretty good. You lose to Grand Canyon. Those are your 2 losses. Those 2 teams, by the way, combined for only 2 losses this entire season. They need a signature win, and they know how important this game is for them, and they have played like it here in the second half. Now, there's still plenty of time for Gonzaga, but it starts with not turning the ball over. It starts with getting stops, getting back in transition, not allowing San Diego State to get easy runouts.
Physical drive will get Anton Watson to the line. And San Diego State's battle tested. Quality wins against Washington on a neutral floor. Cal in overtime on a neutral floor. Beat St. Mary's on a neutral floor. Beat Stanford, UC Irvine, Long Beach State. Were good teams out of the Big West. And you allude to their only losses.
Well, and you look at Gonzaga, and you say, okay, well, look, you beat UCLA, you beat USC, but both those programs struggling so far. UCLA got to 500 last night. You were there for the call of USC in Oregon. When the Trojans took a loss to the Oregon Ducks, Jackson Shellstead and J.J. Evans, just absolutely phenomenal. The 2 freshmen.
J.J. Evans was awesome last night.
But those were games that when you schedule them, you know, and obviously UCLA was in Maui, but you schedule USC on a neutral floor in Las Vegas, a game you called with Jay Willie, you're thinking to yourself, hey, this could be a significant opportunity to get a massive victory. And the Trojans have failed to meet that bar so far.
And Mountain West had a great run through the non-conference. So it's going to be a great league this year in San Diego State.
Well, and we mentioned Nevada, and we mentioned Utah State. How about New Mexico?
Ben Gregg a 3.
Come on the court and make a difference.
And the building needs a spark. Now you need to get a couple stops in a row.
Now the crowd trying to get into it in the kennel again. After they were silenced by San Diego State. Five to shoot. Darion Trammell. The hesitation, the floater. The follow by Jay Powell.
That was outstanding defense up to the last second. And then you give up the offensive rebound putback.
pitches. Grand Ike. And it's tipped out of there by San Diego State to Reese Waters.
Zags switching everything 1 through 4. That's a tough shot.
Reese Waters the miss. Anton Watson has the rebound, and he's on the end line. It stays at this end with the Aztecs up 13 at the kennel.
Those second chance points, they had 0 in the first half, Roxy. After this one, they've got 7 second chance points in the second half, and that was a backbreaker.
Shot. But everything else he's done tonight, he has done with purpose. He is 6 of 9 from the field. It's not just the 16 points, 9 of which have come here in the second half. But it's the purpose in which he's playing with.
And a block on the perimeter, and that's on Nolan Hickman, his first.
Trammell just driving like he's going to go to the other end, which is not where he wanted to go, but he picks up the foul.
Wrong way.
Lamont Butler across the key. There's Grandike ripping down the rebound for the Zags. Ryan Nembhard. And he's fouled and will get to the line.
I love that, and I'll tell you why. Gonzaga has not had a lot of opportunities to get out and run in transition. Only 9 fast break points in this game. And one of the things the Zags do really well is pushing it, whether it's off of makes or misses or turnovers. They are looking to get in attack mode, and Ryan Nembhard kind of forced the issue a little bit there, Roxy. But forcing the issue was the right decision because it gets him to the free throw line.
Second foul, Elijah Saunders. First ACC basketball doubleheader of the new year on Tuesday on ESPN. Number 9, North Carolina, Ramondo Bacot, Harrison Ingram, and the Tar Heels taking on Pitt. At 7 Eastern, then Kyle Filipowski and number 16, Duke, hosting Syracuse at Cameron Indoor. Great night of hoops on Tuesday. First ACC doubleheader. Lamont Butler trapped. Anton Watson knocks it away. Another steal for Watson. And he's denied by Micah Parrish. Into the line will go Ben Gregg for Gonzaga as Watson went tumbling into the camera guys on the baseline. And ladies.
Fans wanted a technical because I believe Parrish just kind of pushed him away. Watch this on the drive. Extracurriculars here. Anton Watson actually pulled Parrish down, which created the conversation. And then as he got up, there was a little bit more. If you watch the bottom of your screen, watch. He pulls Parrish down with him. And Parrish was yelling at the official, and as they got up, he kind of swiped away a little bit, similar to the technical that was given to Dusty Stromer earlier in this half.
One more for Ben Gregg, who has 8 points tonight. Come off the bench now, all 13 games for Mark Few this year.
Easy opportunities to score based on the defense. I like extending out the defense and pressuring here, trying to trap the guards of San Diego State. There's another turnover.
Nolan Hickman got his hands on it. And a foul call. And it's on Lamont Butler. And Butler has 4 with 10:48 to play.
What was I talking about earlier in this half about Gonzaga? If they're going to get back in this game, what did they have to lean into? Their defense. And the decision by Mark Few to extend out the defense and trap this San Diego State team has felt very uncomfortable. And twice now, Butler has dribbled into the trap and then picked it up. And outstanding job by Watson. And that's the versatility. When you can have Anton Watson be at the top of your zone trap and your zone press, his length can be so disruptive. And what it does is now everybody in the building's back on their feet.
Some confusion at the scores table. The official scorer talking to Doug Schaus over there. 10:48 to play. Gonzaga from down 15 has cut it to 10. By the way, that was the 16th foul on the Aztecs. So the next San Diego State foul will put the Zags into the bonus for the rest of the night.
Key here too, by the way, is if you can create turnovers, you're able to score out in front of the defense, right? And that's been key because the Aztecs in their half-court set have been pretty solid. EK has been the guy that did a great job in the first half burying and getting position deep, and they did not do more. That's an offensive foul.
Second on Ryan Nembhard. That'll go as another turnover.
Can't do it. You cannot extend your arm away from your body and push off. This is an easy call. Watch the push. Boom. There it is. That's a foul.
Nice pass by Darion Trammell. And a corner three. Too strong from Elijah Saunders. And Graham Ike pulls the rebound away. Here come the Zags. Chance to get it to single digits. That will send Graham Ike to the line for a 1-and-1. The second on Jaden LeDee.
What an outstanding job of stealing that offensive rebound away from Jaden LeDee, because LeDee had both hands on it. And the Zags were just swiping and got it away and regained the possession.
Ike is 75% foul shooter.
On that previous
front end.
On the previous possession, I was talking about Ike, and what he did so well in the first half was do his work early, seal, and get that deep position. Now, he did not do that on the previous possession when Nembhard picked up the offensive foul. But by working early, he was able to draw contact away from the ball and get to the free throw line.
Knocked away by Watson. In danger of a 10-second call. There it is, a turnover. Gonzaga forces another San Diego State turnover, and the pressure causing problems for the Aztecs.
You would have had the Washington game earlier this year that ended up being 97-100. It was pressure late in that game that bothered San Diego State and allowed Washington to creep its way back in and eventually force overtime, even though they had an opportunity to win the game at the free throw line. Right now, it's the pressure that has completely taken out the flow of this game for the Aztecs. It is all Gonzaga right now.
Graham Ike in the bucket. 11-2 run for the Zags. Jaden LeDee is mugged by Graham Ike.
There's a chance that this could be an intentional foul, grabbing from behind here.
Yeah, I think there was no play. Flagrant one.
There was no play on the ball whatsoever. A great pin and seal by LeDee, and he grabbed him from behind.
And that's not a basketball play.
And they're going to look at it.
An excessive play by Ike. So if it is deemed a flagrant one, that means it'll be 2 shots for Jaden LeDee, and San Diego State will get possession.
He just wrapped him up like a bear hug from behind. Now listen, we'll figure out. They're going to talk about this. They're going to figure it out. I think they're probably going to call it an intentional foul. Okay,
Flagrant one.
But here, more importantly, Gonzaga has flipped the script in this game based on their attention to detail at the defensive end. And that has allowed them to get to the free throw line, where they're 7 of 10 from the free throw line here in the second half. It has allowed them to play out in front of the defense of San Diego State. Regardless of what this call is, you've got 10 minutes on your home floor. We've seen this happen time and time again. You and I have been at plenty of games in this building. If you're Mark Few, what you're saying is, guys, what they're going to call, they're going to call. Don't let it impact you. We have to continue to defend the way we're defending, extending out our pressure, making San Diego State uncomfortable. All the rhythm that we saw in that 18-3 run for San Diego State that started this half, it's gone.
They're having to work extremely hard to get any quality look at the defensive end of the floor, even when they're able to break the press. You've had multiple turnovers. You've had a 10-second violation. Those are the things I'd be focusing on right now by Mark Few, and then talking about how you want to attack him at the offensive end.
Now, both teams are in their huddles. The officials are determining what is going to happen here. And now Mike Reed against Summons, Brian Dutcher, and Mark Few, and Michael Irving reporting to Sean Farnham.
Exactly as we thought. It'd be upgraded to a flagrant, and so it's going to be 2 shots and the foul. And that's the second time you've seen that here in the second half. And you can ill afford to have that. If you're going to foul, but you don't grab and wrap from behind.
So flagrant 1 again means Jaden Ledee will shoot 2 free throws. And San Diego State will get possession. And Ledee at the line tonight is 6 for 6. 13 points, 5 rebounds for Jaden Ledee. That was the first miss for San Diego State from the line tonight. And he missed both. But San Diego State still has the ball.
Fine, but you didn't give up any points here. Now your defense is set, and that's why I talked about that timeout. If you're Mark Few, don't worry about what this ball is going to be. The attention to detail that we've had defensively, we need to be able to sustain that and continue to be disruptive.
Jaden Ledee spinning. What a move by Ledee.
And to me right now, if you're San Diego State, I want 13 or 14 taking the shot as much as they possibly can. Ledee and Waters. I know Trammell had the great first half. I want those 2 guys. They've been great here in the second half. And a good job by Ledee to respond after the 2 missed free throws to finish.
Off balance, tough runner from Nolan Hickman. And the rebound, Miles Bird for San Diego State. Bird spots up. And bodies went crashing in a foul, and it's on San Diego State. Jaden Ledee called for his 3rd. And a 1-and-1 at the other end for Anton Watson.
We've talked about the battle on the glass and just how physical it has been all night long. They're going to review this.
To see if it warrants flagrant 1, maybe a hook and hold.
It's clearly a push by Ledee. That's an easy call. I didn't see any hook or hold in that.
No.
At least from the initial angle that we had. This angle's not going to show it either. Because we got bodies on the floor already. See? There they are.
Again, the foul on the floor was called against Ledee. And then watch right underneath the basket, Ledee and Watson.
And it's just 2 guys battling, and it's a push. It's clearly a foul. I think it's just a common foul. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're agreeing way too much tonight.
You know, you've worked enough with me this year that I've kind of brainwashed you into believing that what I'm saying is correct.
So confirmed by the officials, a common foul. So a 1-and-1 for Watson, who's 2 for 3 from the stripe tonight.
And Ledee will check out of the game. So now offensively, where do you go if you're San Diego State? Now it shifts a little bit, and you go Trammell and Waters. Now, it doesn't mean other guys can't shoot it, but those would be the 2 guys that you kind of want to make sure that you can kind of create something for.
1 more for Anton Watson.
Now, the other thing, too, at the free throw line, what this does, and you see the adjustment. They just moved Graham Ike, and he's going to go all the way back. Why is he going back, and why is Nembhard going in with Hickman? Because they're going to press. Watson will be at the top of the press as long as it's a made free throw. And then you were going to have your guards. Look, they're going to jump into it anyways. Now, this has been where they've been most disruptive.
Now Miles Bird looks to attack. Off balance. The offensive rebound, Miles Heide kicks it out.
What a big offensive rebound by Heide.
Darion Trammell. And cutting to the basket, Heide can't control it. He's trying to sell Mike Reed that it was off Gonzaga. But Mike Reed not buying it. We're going the other way.
5 turnovers in the last 4 minutes for the Aztecs. And what was a sizable advantage, it was 21-6 in points off of turnovers. Now it's 21-15.
Keep in mind, the guy that steadies the ship for Brian Dutcher is Lamont Butler, who's sitting with 4 fouls. It's still 8:15 to go.
You got to bring help here. You got to double that earlier.
Graham Ike turns middle, gets the roll.
You got to help the freshman out. You can't put him on an island on the baseline with Ike. He's going to finish every time.
18 for Ike. Reese Waters, the fall away. Tough shot for Waters.
I go right back to Ike in the same position, and if they're not going to bring the double, and then tell him to go to work. They're trying to get Ike in that position.
And foul off the ball on Miles hiding.
He just hold him and grab it. Graham Ike, we previewed him at the start of the game, and coming off of a 22-point, 11-rebound performance against Jackson State, he needed to show up and play big tonight. Boy, has he. Defensively against Ladie, he's been outstanding, but he's got 18 points, 7 rebounds. And as I mentioned, it's got to be 12 or 14 offensively for the Aztecs. It was 14, and Reese Waters continues to have a big second half. It's a 7-point game with 7 left.
They made 8 of their first 10. Meantime, Arizona State and Frankie Collins opening Pac-12 play at Stanford.
Arizona best when they're in transition in half court. They get a little stuck. Frankie Collins has got to make some plays.
Pac-12 action, Roxy and Sean, after we finish up inside the kennel.
Well, Mountain West against the WCC here in Spokane. So a Pac-12 opener for ASU and Stanford coming up next. San Diego State leading it by 7. And here's how the Zags, Sean, you've been talking about this, how they got back into this game.
It was going to be their defense and the ability to extend out, trapping without fouling, 10-second violations, turnovers. The effort and the attention to detail in particular at the defensive end has been elite. Here was the first turnover in the trap. Even when they broke half court, they were able to pin him on the sideline and not really give any kind of opportunity whatsoever to get in their rhythm and flow offensively. And you mentioned Trammell, who had the great first half. He had 15 points at the break. He has failed to score a single point here in the second half.
Reese Waters leads San Diego State with 18. He's had a strong second half.
And this will be free throw number 13 and 14 here in the second half for Gonzaga. Only 6 free throws attempted for San Diego State. And that's because Gonzaga has been the more aggressive team, and that starts at the defensive end.
Battles off for Graham Ike. Jay Powell the rebound for San Diego State. 6-point lead for the Aztecs. Lamont Butler on the bench with 4 fouls. Jaden Ladie sitting with 3.
Double away here from Waters. Good defense on the switch. You see how Ben Gregg took that away?
Jay Powell launching a 3.
That
And
is
there is Ryan Nembhard the rebound.
Roxy, great team defense, scout defense by Ben Gregg. You have Waters coming off of a double screen. You switch out on it. You take that away. You get somebody shooting the shot that you really would prefer them to take.
Of 1 foot. Graham Ike the offensive rebound. Ike! 2 free throws coming. Seems like the more physical it gets inside, the better it is for Graham Ike.
This is the Graham Ike that Gonzaga fans dreamt about when he transferred.
2 shots for Ike. As the Zags are in the double bonus for the rest of the night.
Roxy, let me go back to that last possession, though. I want to show people at home. Watch this. You got a double screen away. Ben Gregg reads it, and watch how he jumps out. He takes away that and then allows the 3-point shot by Jay Powell. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to take the ball away from Reese Waters and put it in someone else's hands. And he saw that Nembhard was trailing there and just made a great read.
20 for Ike. It's down to 5. And a turnover. 3! Ryan Nembhard!
They're going to review it. But nevertheless, it's this defense once again. San Diego State has got to break this press more confidently. Drive into a gap and attack. You cannot be passive against the defense in which the Gonzaga Bulldogs are applying.
15-6 run for the Zags, the closest they've been since early here in the second half. Reese Waters silences a crowd with a 3.
That time Ben Gregg went under, and that's what created the gap. And Waters, every single time the Zags get close, Waters hits the shot.
21 for Waters. On the baseline, Ryan Nembhard for Gonzaga.
Surprised on that make that they didn't extend out the defense again and get back into the press.
Miles Bird sets up in the corner, a 3.
You had 2 on Jaden Ledee underneath. That left Bird wide open in the corner. Great find by Reese Waters.
Just his 5th three-pointer this season. Bird has a career-high 9. Nolan Hickman. And the rebound, Reese Waters for the Aztecs. Lob ahead for Jaden Ledee. And he lays it in. And behind the defense.
A rare time in transition. They were able to throw it over the top of this Gonzaga defense.
All the way to the basket, it spins, and it goes for Nembhard.
Nembhard really asserting himself in the last couple of possessions. He's up to 16.
Darion Trammell to the basket, and the finger roll, his first points of the second half.
How much fun is this?
Anton Watson along the baseline in reverse.
Well, neither team can figure out how to get a stop right now.
And Reese Waters comes up hobbling.
Movement without the basketball by Anton Watson and awareness and understanding of where he was. A great find for the Zags. See, right now I'd extend out my pressure. You had a dead ball situation. Everybody stop. The pressure has been working so well here in the second half. Why not stay with it? Lamont Butler's probably coming in when we get to out of this next timeout.
Jaden Ledee muscles his way to the basket. The foul on Grant Ike. 3:38 to go. San Diego State up 6, looking for the upset of the kennel.
It's been back and forth. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have made 4 of the last 5, and it starts with being able to flatten out the defense, get behind them. Great job by Anton Watson. We got ourselves a game. 6 points. 3 minutes left.
Point field goal. That's why the score has changed. 78-71 San Diego State. 3:38 remaining at the kennel with Sean Farnham and our ESPN crew. Roxy Bernstein with you. San Diego State, a strong performance.
Roxy, there's games, though. I mean, when our bosses send us a list of games, and anybody that works our network knows it, somebody sends us an email and goes, we'd like to confirm your availability for these games.
Yes.
When you and I saw this game pop up, we both smiled and said, hey, it's going to be fantastic. This might be one of the marquee games we get all season long, and it has not disappointed. The execution of both squads. And look, San Diego State's 4 for 4 in the last 4 shot attempts. We mentioned before we went to the break, 4 or 5 for Gonzaga. I think the Zags need to go back to extending out their pressure on their makes and being disruptive and trying to turn over this San Diego State offense that has struggled in the second half of valuing the basketball. They have 7 turnovers in the second half, and they have 13 points off of those turnovers in the second 20 minutes.
Jaden Ledee pushes the lead to 9. And from the weak side, Ben Gregg trying to keep it alive for Gonzaga.
Anton Watson wide open.
Follows up his own miss. And an interesting lineup for Mark Few with Anton Watson at the 3.
I like this lineup because, again, look, Big Greg's a hustler. He defends well, he's physical, and down the stretch of this game, you're going to need to be physical and you need to play smart.
Darion Trammell missing the long 3, but there's Reese Waters on the offensive glass. Poked away by Anton Watson out of bounds to San Diego State as Mark Few hustling over to pick up Anton Watson.
I said this last year. How did Anton Watson not win Defensive Player of the Year in the WCC? I mean, he's one of the best defensive players in all of college basketball. His versatility, his ability to guard 1 through 4, how disruptive he can be, how often he creates steals and opportunities for his teammate. Now they extend out. Look at this. This is their full court pressure in the half court right now.
1-3-1 look from Gonzaga.
And you're already under 10 seconds on the shot clock, and San Diego State really hasn't figured out much in this possession. What a spin.
And Jake Ledee will get to the line. That's a pretty good way to expose the zone and knife through it.
Well, Ledee has not shot the ball very well from the field. He has been outstanding from the free throw line. He's got 19 points, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. The only 2 he missed were the 2 that were the flagrant foul when there was nobody standing around.
Third foul on Ben Gray. Way to go, Gasbag.
You're not the first person to call me that.
We couldn't jinx Reese Waters, but we did it to Jake Ledee. Gets the second. Another 20-point game for Jaden Ledee, 7th time this year. Ben Gray. And Miles Bird rips it down. He has had a terrific game off the bench.
He has done little things that help you win. A rebound like that, getting interior position on the weak side to secure that possession for your team is huge when you've got the lead and you're looking to get under 2 minutes.
Ledee. Off the front rim, last touch by Jake Powell. And it goes to Gonzaga with 1:58 to play.
Brian Dutcher upset with Ledee, feeling as if he settled for the jump shot instead of attacking like he had done on the previous couple of possessions.
Reese Waters dives. And San Diego State comes away with it. Here comes Darion Trammell, 3-on-2 if they want it. San Diego State, they've kept Lamont Butler on the bench ever since he picked up that 4th foul. Strip for Darion Trammell. Here comes Ryan Nembhard.
Got a mismatch underneath. EK was being guarded by Reese Waters. They didn't get him the ball.
Owen Hickman can't get the floater. 8-point lead approaching a minute to go for San Diego State.
That is a huge, huge stop. And they had a mismatch underneath that if they were just a little bit more patient to find, they would have found EK. If you're San Diego State, you want to be aggressive and attack the basket. This is the guy you'd like to see do it.
Miles Bird on the move. Nolan Hickman the rebound. The Zags down 8, need to hurry. Nembhard launches. And way off with a 3 and the loose ball. There's Jaden Ledee. Reese Waters will pull it away from the lane, and he's fouled by Watson with 24.4. And what a road win this will be if San Diego State can finish this one off.
It's just so rare to come into this building as a road team and find a win. You mentioned it. It's only 16 losses in this building. San Diego State is going to put Providence to 17 up, and they're going to own 2 of those losses to Gonzaga. A great job by the Aztecs. Brian Dutcher's team the toughness that it takes and is required to try to find a way to win here. What a job by the Aztecs. They'll improve to 11-2 on the season with a signature.
And the first miss for Reese Waters. Made 43 in a row to start. Off balance three, well short from Ben Gregg. Granby can't clean it up. Jay Powell tips it free, the exclamation point. And a technical on Jay Powell.
It'll be a technical for hanging on the rim. I don't think anyone on the bench for San Diego State is going to mind at this point in time.
6.7 to go. 11-point lead. And the biggest deficits in losses for Gonzaga in this building. 11 points. Santa Clara did it in 2007. Illinois in 2012.
Oh, because of the technical, it's down to 10.
Yep.
I think really impressed with Brian Dutcher's team. And Trammell carried him in the first half. And in the second half, Ledee to the free throw line. And Reese Waters, 22 points for Reese Waters. A majority of those coming in the second half.